and we want to thank you for joining the Four Tales podcast.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
We're about to talk some comics and get a little bit controversial. Everything from indie books to movie deal level commercial. With no rehearsals when we converse to coerce you. And then we do the quick takes and try to get to the person. So join us and get your comic book a few more sales once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales. Once a week wherever you pod. It's Four Tales.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions respectfully brings to you the 193rd episode of the Four Tales podcast. I am your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the periwinkle stenographer of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick. And together, we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live via Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So if you're listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger audience. And for those astute audience members out there that are like, Kyron, you said 193rd episode. Last week you were 195. How is that possible?
What? We went back in time?
I know we got into our DeLorean, we got into our Tartarus, we did the whole whoosh whoosh thing. You guys remember a few weeks ago, Danny and I were on here and we had a guest that was in the UK, didn't realize the time difference, how much of a time difference it was, and I guess fell asleep and didn't show up. So we decided to redo this episode. Now, who we have today is not that person, but we just have another great guest that's just going to take that placeholder. Does that make sense?
Go. That's how we'll fix it. See, that's why you're the brains of this show, and I'm just the comic relief because you do things that make sense.
Mr. Fish is in the audience. He said it's my two favorite blurred comic creators. Fish, we are your only blurred comic creators. That's all that is.
No, I think Fish has got a few. I think he's got at least 5. Right. We probably made the top 5 list though.
I don't think I'd make his top 5 actually.
Shout out to Mr. Fish in the audience.
All right.
This is weird at 7:00. Do you feel different?
Yes. Because pulling back the shade, pulling back the curtains, whatever they want to call it. Normally between like 4 my time, 7:00 your time, and 5 is when I do all my prep work for the show. I take all my notes, I do all my research, I put together my videos, I get my quick takes at the very last moment. Between 4 to 5. So this is very weird right now.
Yeah.
My body's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then you want me to do it again 1 hour from now, which is wild.
We're going to do it again. Yes, we are. But I believe in us. I think we can do this. And if it goes well, I
believe in you and me.
And if it goes well, we'll make it a regular thing.
No, we are not. This is like when I had to wake up at 5:00 in the morning on a Saturday to do episodes with you. We are not doing this again.
No. But I think today, even though we only do this one time, it's worth it because we got a special guest. You and I, we met for the first time last year in person at HeroesCon in Charlotte, North Carolina. And
I still have the video of us actually meeting, like seeing each other for the first time. I saw that video.
Which was amazing. We've been doing this podcast for a few years now. And, part of that is thanks to our guest, who is the operation manager at Heroes Aren't Hard to Find and the architect of Indie Island at HeroesCon. Please welcome to the show, Seth Peagler, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, guys.
Oh, we got to get this. We got to get the sound effect, Kyron.
I'm sorry, I forgot to play the sound effect. I can figure that out one of these days. I know I can.
As long as it's not like one of those whistles or the like the blooper thing.
Uh-oh. I can do that too. Just give me I can do it too. Don't worry.
I'm just assuming that's on cue.
Well, thanks for joining us, Seth.
Thanks
Danny
for having
said,
me.
No. For anyone that isn't familiar with, I guess, with HeroesCon, can you give us a breakdown quick breakdown for what HeroesCon is?
HeroesCon is the largest independently owned and operated comic book convention with the focus on comic books in the country. This is our 44th year. Shelton Drum started it and continues to own and operate it. And all of us who work with him have been with him for a long time. So it's a very small operation to have grown into the size of the convention that it is. It's under 10 of us, really under 5 of us who kind of put everything together. So
now you said
crazy.
two things really important there. You said that number one, you said that focuses on comics. Now,
Yes.
I've been to a lot of comic book conventions,
Yes.
you know, but I always tell people that HeroesCon is my favorite comic book convention because, first of all, it's just a great event. It's just a great show, but you really do focus on comic books and comic book creators when you really don't have to. Like the audience that you guys draw every year, you could really bring people out from anywhere. I'm sure you probably get requests and things like that to have more, you know, celebrities or maybe, you know, artists or actors. Why is it that you choose to stay focused on comic books?
That's the way Shelton started it. He was and is a fan and supporter of comics and the people who create them. And all of us who are lucky to be there and worked for him, we all came up going to that show. You know, Carla, who's really the along with Shelton, the main organizers, and I'm just happy to be the third wheel. She famously has been at every single HeroesCon. The first one, she was still in the womb.
Oh wow!
She all the way back, and she was volunteering for a decade before she became part of the full-time crew. I've been there for 19 years in management.
Wow.
And I first went to Heroes in 1991. So we're all comic fans. Like we care about what y'all do. We care about the actual product. And we, like you said, we get questions from actors and voice actors and wrestlers. And the reality is you can go to any number of good conventions and interact with those folks. If you come to HeroesCon, you might meet some of those folks, but they will have done a comic. They will have written or been involved in a comic. We're really about the art form.
Like Danny said, you could probably get people from anywhere in the country. I'm in California. I actually flew from California to North Carolina last year so I could attend HeroesCon as a vendor. Sold a bunch of comics. Fish Lee in the audience, he said that's the show he should hit, which I totally agree with. Do you find that you get a lot of people from, you know, different parts of the country, first comic creators, just wanting to come into HeroesCon?
Definitely. Last year, I enjoyed that, and we get creators from all over, not just the country, but the world. Also, exhibitors. I mean, we have people from Europe and Asia and come to set up to sell their comics, even if they're not creators. So it's pretty remarkable how you talked about we could take on these other elements of pop culture and have a different kind of audience, but the people who are at our show know it's about comics, and it's as big as it's ever been. Working on the map this year that it will be the largest.
I already know, like I'm already excited about it. I heard, I've been watching all the announcements. Y'all have Scott Snyder coming this year and Nick Dragotta coming this year. They arguably have the hottest comic book out right now with Absolute Batman.
Absolutely
the hottest comic out right now. I got me.
You know how many times I've made that one?
That's Kyron's main job on the show, to do puns.
I run things behind the scenes.
I know you're absolutely right. Yeah.
So what is the how do you accomplish something like that? Because I'm sure they could go anywhere in the world right now. But of course, like I said, HeroesCon is a place for comic books, so it's absolutely a place that they should go. But every year, it seems like y'all get, the top, most talented, most experienced, most impactful people, but you also, have indie creators like us who, might just be entering the show. How do you balance out, a show like that?
I thought you were talking about yourself at first when you said the most impactful comic creator. I was like, wow, the ego.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, every year we try to have larger names, and if you look at past few years, we always do that. Scott Snyder hasn't been here, I think, since 2012 or so. And had a good time then, but his acclaim has risen, and this year it kind of worked out that we got a lot of great absolute creators, including Jay Grayson, the co-writer on Absolute Catwoman, Sherman, artist for Absolute Wonder Woman, among others.
Now, what does your role look like? It's behind the scenes, because just like we were saying, you're programs operation manager, you run the Indie Island. What does your role look like, and how much of your work goes into putting the convention together every year?
Well, like I said, Carla does the lion's share of most things. She is sort of the event and media organizer. She books all exhibitors. She deals directly with artists, deals with hotels, deals with design. So her fingerprints are on just about everything. My job, as Danny alluded to, is I curate Indie Island, which is different every year. That's the center section of the floor plan that is invite only. It's the only part of the convention where you never know exactly who's going to be there. And my favorite part is I often pull people who just purchased Artist Alley tables. That's always kind of a surprise. Like, if your work is interesting, and even if it's not my personal aesthetic, and you continue to keep doing new things and create work, sometimes that placement. I also work with Marley, who does streaming, so and all of that. We're kind of co-coordinators. I deal with staff at the convention and now keep open even during HeroesCon. And then I'm kind of the main Heroes representative of our drink and draw event Friday night at the con. Raises money for Herbage. That's
this event is
things.
this event. I've been going to Heroes for a little over 10 years now. I want to say 2012 was my first show. And I met Wally McNair at that show. We've been working together for a long time now. But it's grown. Y'all keep adding new things, and y'all keep doing new exciting things, which is really cool. But it's always centered around comic books. And I will say that one of my favorite things is that you put Indie Island right there in the middle of the action. Of course, you got things that are happening way on the other side, all the way to the left, all the way to the right. I'm sure the map is going to be crazy this year, but having the indies right there in the center, where we get a lot of traffic in that area, and I think that that's really, really cool and thoughtful. So I just want to extend a thanks for doing that, for highlighting the indies, because I think especially being an indie myself, it's cool to be able to get some good traffic at shows. You don't really get good traffic at all at all the comic book conventions as an indie. So that's really cool. Why did you decide to do that?
Yeah. Yeah, it was always my yeah, Ellen was always my favorite part as a fan. So I love being able to organize it now.
Yeah.
So, what besides being a convention that centers on comic books, what else makes HeroesCon unique compared to other comic conventions across country?
I think the real grassroots nature of it, such a small homegrown group of us been around Heroes for so long. Like I said, over a decade. I've been there almost 2. Um, and I think you need a good small group that really care the same thing and understands intuitively how to work in big circumstances. Um, and the focus has always stayed the same. We're not a big corporate. We're a small business that happens to organize a large event. So normally, if you go to New York Comic Con or San Diego, or there's always outside involvement and everything in house. So I think that really sets apart. And so many people talk about how HeroesCon feels like a family reunion or summer vacation, and I think that's why, because it's the same. We're the people. We care about it. So we're still here, lucky. So
Yeah. And you do got a good group of volunteers there. I know recently they've been in honor of one of the main volunteers that you had back in the day, Kibby, who passed away recently. But
yeah.
I know that every year they all come out and they are also very helpful. But how do you manage with such a small group? Like you said, there's 10 almost 10 of you that are doing all of this work, and it's such a huge show. So I want to know, as somebody who works in a bunch of different teams and has experienced a bunch of different team dynamics, how do you manage to be so impactful with such a small group of people?
You have to trust each other, but you have to earn that trust. Everybody who's in or the organization has been around for some time, and we still make mistakes, but you stay focused on the goal and the purpose, and you kind of stay in your lane. Like I said, like I place in this, and I'm grateful for it. Um, I'm not trying to run it. I'm happy to do my parts. Staying true to the vision that Shelton had and following his lead is uh, whether that can be applied to anything. Like you have a voice, and then you have people who support it because they believe it. So,
Now, like you did mention that you've been with
what I would say.
HeroesCon for almost 2 decades now. Is there anything that used to be part of HeroesCon that you still wish you could somehow bring back? No. Uh-oh. Seth, did you hear me or?
I heard you say you mentioned.
Okay.
I lost you.
You've no problem. Like you said, you've been with HeroesCon for almost 2 decades now. Is there anything that HeroesCon used to have that you wish you could bring back?
Having some connection things. It was the question, is there anything back?
Yes. Yep. That was the question.
If that's the question, I don't know. It was much more manageable when it was smaller.
Okay.
But I don't want it
Seth,
to go back to that.
No, not at all. Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming, man. We really appreciate you talking to us. It's always great to have a different perspective. A lot of our audience is comic book creators and comic book fans, people who, love. Oh, I think we might have lost them for a second.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it looks like we lost Seth.
We'll see if we can get him back.
What was the question you were going to ask?
I was actually going to ask him about his music stuff. I
saw that too on his page. I wanted to get into that, but
I was going to ask him about his music because I listened to his the EP that he dropped earlier today, actually, and I was going to ask him about his trio, which I think is really cool. Seth, I think we got him back. Seth, so
can you hear us?
If you can hear us. I don't know. Seth, if you can hear us, we were wondering about your music career here. I see that you play the guitar and that you got a trio that you're working with. How did that get started?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? All right, are we back?
I don't know. Can you hear us?
I think we might be lagging a little bit, or a lot of bit.
Where'd I go?
I don't know. Can you hear us? Uh-oh. No, Seth, I don't think we have a good enough connection, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It just seems like.
Well, technology does what it does sometimes, and that's okay. Maybe we can reach out. Maybe we can reach out to Seth for some questions on the back end.
Yeah.
This is what
Seth,
happens
we might
when
have to let you go, unfortunately.
Live in Concord.
In where?
Concord.
There's a Concord in California. Wait,
that's a North Carolina joke, Kyron. Concord is a great place. Concord is a great place.
Concord in California is great too.
Yeah.
Seth, unfortunately, looks
Concord.
Seth, we appreciate you being. We appreciate you being on.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We have to let you go. Yeah, no problem, sir. We will let you go. Hopefully, we can have you on at some other point.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Appreciate you.
Thanks.
All right, you guys. We tried. We really wanted to talk to Seth because we thought HeroesCon. Danny and I had a great time last year, and Danny's always mentioned how much he loves HeroesCon. So we really wanted to talk to Seth and get some behind the scenes stuff. Unfortunately, just technology did not want to work.
There is a storm happening here in North Carolina too, so that might have been affecting them a little bit. So
yeah,
unfortunately, but I did have some questions for him, man. That quick takes is gonna be good. Man, I was excited about that.
What we're gonna do though, then we're gonna end the show a little early, but don't leave whatever streaming platform you're on, because in 30 minutes we're gonna come back and do part 2 or episode 2. I don't know how we're gonna say this, because the stream itself is gonna end, but we're gonna come back at our normal time. We're gonna talk with Jermaine Exum from Acme Comics, which I think this is gonna be an interesting conversation, though. Hopefully his internet works better, though. I hope so.
We'll see. I think Jermaine and Seth are about the same age, so we'll see.
Damn.
We'll see how the technology works. But
all right,
we'll make it happen.
We'll make it work. Again, join us 30 minutes, normal time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back. Oh God. Should I even do the outro or what?
Yeah, just do it.
All right.
Music provided by my brother, Quix Made It. Find him online in YouTube, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.
Oh,